Hi everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well today and staying safe out there. As always, say hello to Brahm. I had to clean his tank today and I moved around some of his decorations and some of the plants came unplanted, so I had to replant them and I ended up moving some of them. So he's found a bunch of new hiding spots that he loves. So you might not see him very well in this video, so I apologize if you're here to look at my fish. This is like my fourth time trying to record this video today. I don't know what's going on with me, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a mod overview. I don't really talk that much about mods on this channel. I personally don't really use a lot of them actually in my own game. So whenever I do see a mod that interests me, I do want to talk about it. This mod comes from two simmers known as the Pancake One and Mizorayuki. From what I understand, it looks like they've done some other mods together, some kind of like interactions that they've taken, I think, from past games, as well as they've done a chemistry system, once again, kind of based off of some of the chemistry systems we've gotten in the past games as well. I have not seen this content before, so who knows? I don't know how good they are, but I'm assuming they're good, because this mod that they've come up with is quite intense. So what they did is they took the coding for the sliders that we got on the skin tones that we got back in December and have applied them to hair and clothing. I'm just gonna let you know, just after playing with it a little bit, I have noticed that not all of them work. So how it works is you have to download a mod and then you have to go and download a bunch of other files to go with it. And I downloaded all of the ones for all of the packs and game packs since I have all of them. And I've just noticed that they don't all work, but that's fine. It's a mod. I don't expect it to be perfect. I also paid for early access, so who knows if they'll update it or fix it before it goes live for everyone. But how this works is you get sliders, so you can play with like the hue, you can play with the saturation and the lightness and the opacity for different hairstyles, hair colors, and clothing items. We're gonna jump right into Create a Sim and kind of check it out, see what's going on. All right, we're here in Create a Sim and I just pulled up this random sim. I had to look through a bunch of the hairs to make sure which ones work with the sliders, which ones don't. Because like I said, not all of them are quite working right now. And like I said, that's not a huge issue for me, but just watch this. So how it works is similar to the sliders that we got in the other game. You have, like I said, the hue, opacity, saturation, and brightness. There are two menus you have to worry about, and it is a little complicated. However, you know, I think it's fine. It is a mod, but let's just play with the hue and just look how that hair changes. Like, isn't that... We haven't even played with some of the other hair ones, but just like this dark black one. And you see this one now is more of like a purpley with the blue that goes down to a more deep purple. That's super nice. Let's check out brown and see how brown looks. Oh, that's nice. So this is super fun. And like I said, let's say maybe you find one you like. You're like, yeah, that's the vibe. Maybe play with the saturation if you want it to be a little bit more intense, getting mother plant vibes. You can play with the brightness. Maybe you're like, no, it should be a little darker. And then you got that nice kind of like dark purpley hair up here at the top. Let's say you want to do this kind of purple green. This is actually a really gross combination. But let's say you're like, okay, I want it to maybe be just a little, maybe a little bit more like a lighter pink. Maybe you're like, that pink's just a little too bright for me. So let's play with the saturation. Ooh, yeah, now we have this kind of almost pastel. Loving it. Where's the other one from Island Living? Yeah, once again, let's say we really like this pink hair, but it's just a little too intense for our liking. See? Now this is something I think they need to add into the game sometime this year if they weren't already planning on. Of course, if they add into the game, I think the UI system will be a lot user-friendly. This one's a little complicated, gets a little hard to get used to. It's a little jumpy too, as well as it doesn't work with all the hairs. As well as also, if we get this in the game, what I would really like them to do is take it to the next step. For example, when the Sims team teamed up with X Mira Mira and a few other Simmers, they could have very easily just decided to purchase the X Mira Mira Melanin pack, like just purchase the rights to it and put it in the game. They wanted to take it to the next step and add 100 different swatches with the ability to use the slider so you can adjust each skin swatch to make the perfect skin tone for your Sim. And I think they really need to do that, as well as I think for hair, they really need to break up the hair down into 3 or 4 different kind of sections. That way, if we want to do some dark roots, like maybe, you know, since her hair color is this natural dark brown, what if we could get some dark brown roots in there? And then maybe if we wanted to do, you know, make the length here maybe all pink and then maybe make the tips blue or something. I think that would be fun. Those are some things we had access to in The Sims 3. I think The Sims 3 creative style was a little too intense, not only just for the system it was running on, but I think just in general, it's a little overwhelming for users as well. At least that's how I always felt. I just felt like we got a little too much to do. I think sometimes it's important to recognize we don't need to have access to do everything. We just need access to the things that we have to work correctly. So I definitely would like to see maybe some ability to play with, at least at a bare minimum, root color. Just 'cause especially when I'm making some of these Sims with, you know, fun and quirky hair. Like if I go to this green here, where is she? You know, I think this green is fine, but I would also like the ability to maybe turn down the saturation, maybe play with the hue a little, shift it slightly more to this kind of a green. And I'd really like the ability to add in roots or maybe even some tips. I don't know, those are all just things I kind of think about that I think would really make the game better. Like I said, we also have it on clothing. I went through the clothes and I found a few that works on. I wanted to use this jacket here from base game just to kind of highlight another point I wanted. Well, let me change her hair so it's out of her face for a second. Does this one also work? Like I said, not all of them work, so this one might not be one of them. Oh, this one works. All right, so we're gonna go with this light pink. Because that's a vibe. Check out this jacket. This is another thing they need to fix. Because you used to be able to click on a clothing and it would bring you right to it. Now it brings you like vaguely near it. So let's say I like this jacket. Right now with this great system we have here, that's a mod, you can play with it and you'll play with the different hues. So like, maybe you like this red, but it's not quite what you want. You don't want this quite nice deep red. So you got more of this orangey red. And then let's turn up the saturation. Or even turn it down. Give it more of a kind of used or old kind of vibe. Maybe looks a little hand-me-down or vintage. What I would like though, for if they were to give us this in the game, in like a base game update, what I would really like is for them to also consider splitting up the different sections, like in The Sims 3 for create a style. I personally, once again, think create a style is very overwhelming in The Sims 3. Not just overwhelming for like the system, I just don't think the game was optimized to really run that way. I also just think there was too many options. I think it would be nice to be able to click on the jacket and be able to pick kind of like this denim texture here and maybe change it, be like, this would be really nice in a blue or a nice bright orange, and then be able to click the like fur on the sleeves and up here on the like trim or whatever, and be able to maybe make it white or make it blue, and then be able to click the shirt and pick what color the shirt is. In The Sims 3, you'd be able to also change the pattern on it. Like you could click this jacket and be like, I want this to be cow print, and the shirt to be a, I don't know, a flannel print. I personally don't think we need that much customization. I think in The Sims 3, it was a little overwhelming, and it made creating Sims take way much longer. It led to a few like more crashes. So I just think keeping it a little bit more pared down, I think, would be better. Not just because I think The Sims 4 tends to go for a more minimalist route when it comes to kind of like the user experience and create a sim and build and buy mode. It seems to kind of be trying to make it super easy to use. I think the goal is also try to keep it as best running for its optimization as bestly possible. So I think we could definitely forego all the like fun and crazy patterns that Sims 3 had and just stick with the colors. If they want to do the sliding, they can, or they can bring back the color wheel. Either would be fine. I think I could deal with the sliders just because the sliders have so much like there's so much you can do with them. Like look at that, now we have a nice teal jacket. And this is super fun too, because I like the swatches they give us already. So if they were to do a system like this, where we could just play with the different sliders while clicking on certain things, I think that would be pretty decent. Because it could really just be simple as you're like, wow, I think this gray is pretty good, but what if it was just a little warmer? Just play with just a little. Oh, the shirt's changing, not the jacket. Yeah, what if you're just like, this blue is great, but I just want it a little closer to green. Now we have this nasty green coat, and she looks great with her pink hair. So I would definitely love to see something like this in the game. I think this mod is super great. I'll leave the link down in the description. However, I will say it's in early access right now, so you have to pay at least $3 to get access to the Patreon to download it. I would definitely say it's worth it if this is something you're super invested in. I personally just wanted to check it out and didn't mind throwing $3 towards some hardworking CC creators. I probably won't use this. I might take it out of my game right away, but I like the ability to pop it back in and check it out. The main reason I think I wouldn't keep it in my game is there are so many files you do have to download, which once again isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think they definitely were able to do it in a way that they did it, I think, the best to their abilities, and I think they did a great job. But I did download a lot of files. I think the creators did a great job. This alone is so much fun. Like this bikini top also works. Like look, there's so much fun customization. I believe this shirt works too. So if you're like, yeah, I've always wanted this shirt to be, I don't know, more saturated for some reason and darker. I think it's a super fun thing that these creators have come up with. I think it's definitely worth checking out. Oh, does this one not work? Yeah, like I said, it's just like random ones that don't work, which isn't a bad thing. Like they've done a lot of work already. See, that's nice. But yeah, I would definitely like if the Sims 4 team were to consider doing this. I would like them to be able to split up the clothing items. I don't know if they can do that this late in the game though. I don't know what kind of coding that would take. I'm going to be completely honest. I would assume the coding to try to separate so these items read as one but also separate would be a massive overhaul, and it would definitely take a minimum of 4 months just to do that. Just because, like, and I say that because it took a minimum of 4 months for them to make the 100 skin tones with the sliders. So I'd imagine going back and editing all of these items would, at a bare minimum, take at least 4 months. So anyways, this is a great pack. I suggest, or a great mod for anyone who likes modding. I say check it out. For those of you who do not mod, but maybe, you know, like this idea, I definitely suggest, you know, really pushing the gurus, maybe on Twitter or whatever, to really look at mods like this and can see how they can incorporate things like this into their game. Maybe they could even bring on these two simmers and be like, hey, do you want to work on this like they did with X Mira Mira and the other simmers who worked on the skin tones? I do have a feeling they probably wouldn't, since this is built off of that technology and wasn't kind of like this own thing that they came up with themselves. But either way, great mod. I think they did a really good job. I think just having the ability to play with this is super fun, and it's something I definitely from time to time will be like, yeah, I want to do that. I think I'm going to take it out of my game and automatically just like be sad that I can't play with it anymore. Like, I'm definitely going to be like, wait, I miss it. Like, I mostly like being able to do with the pink, just because the pink in the game, it's just so bright. There's nothing wrong with that in theory, but it's just so, like, even this, like, the colors they use are so bright. And I definitely would love the ability. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, I would definitely love the ability to go in and change these root colors. So down below, I'll have a link for the Patreon for anyone who wants to sign up and pay $3, or you can just wait for it to be public access. I'm assuming it'll be public access at some point, as well as I'll leave a link down to Deligracy's video because she also did a great one, as well as let me know down below, what are you thinking about this? Do you like this mod? How would you like to see it incorporated into The Sims? And do you think this is a good idea? I have a feeling some people might be against it, some people might not, who knows? I think this proves that it can be done, meaning now there's no reason that the Sims team can't do it or shouldn't do it. So interested to see if we get it later this year, as well as make sure to say goodnight to Brahm, wherever he's hiding in that tank now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.